Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, there was a conversation on X, a conversation regarding some latest development about what Citizen TV shared. There's a story that Citizen TV shared regarding the progress of IPOA. We were told that there are people who were arrested, and we shared that in our previous analysis. We were also told that the person who was contracted to tamper with the CCTV was also arrested. Now, today being a Monday, they have a date with the court. Now, I want us to focus on a statement that Sossion delivered during that X engagement. Because Sossion is telling us about something regarding a recycle bin. In your normal computer, if you delete a record, the first thing that the computer does, assume you're using Windows, it will take that data or the record to recycle bin. Now, most of the time, people delete and forget to go to the recycle bin and clean that recycle bin. So if you don't do that, for example, if you had something, a damaging video, a video which you wouldn't want someone to get wind of, and then someone logs into your machine and it goes to the recycle bin, restores that video back, that person will be able to see that video. So Sossion is telling us something about a blunder that was done by the person who could have deleted the footages, or the person who could have formatted the hard disk. Let's assume that person deleted the footage because he didn't want this thing to be suspicious. Alitaka tu kudeal na specific camera deleted and the content went to the recycle bin. Let's focus on that point that Sossion is telling us. And I'm going to share that engagement. It's a lengthy engagement. You'll be shocked. So before I share that part, ladies and gentlemen, kindly support this channel by liking this video. And by the way, I don't take your likes for granted. They mean a lot to this channel. And by the way, that's the only way YouTube will always share our content. Now, subscribe to this channel if you are not subscribed before. And to our existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. That data which was kept in the recycle bin is what the IPOA team, the technical team, are using to reconstruct this story. And we were told that from that move, they managed to get to know who were responsible for beating Albert Ojwang in the cells, assuming the cells that is now the crime scene and not Karura Forest as shared before. So I wanted to pay attention to this message, or rather this statement from Sossion, Wilson Sossion, the former NAT chair.
Investigations, and for the purposes of knowledge to Ndegwa Njiru, it is not the police that will be investigating the police. It is the IPOA that will be investigating the police. And I think here, what we are missing is that we are missing the truth of what happened at Central Police Station. If the Inspector General of Police cannot tell the country the truth, blow by blow, account by account, of exactly what happened, until we leave all this burden to IPOA to go and retrieve the CCTV, which indeed was arrest, and is a fact that it was arrest. And we hear, unfortunately, the deletion did not delete the data that was in the recycling pin. So what happened at the Central Police Station can still be reconstructed. And I hear IPOA have done a good job to the point that they've zeroed down even to the 3 inmates who actually in the CCTV have been seen handling Ojwang upon arrival. And probably these are the 3 inmates who might have killed Ojwang under the full watch of the officers at the police station who were on duty at that time. The thing is, we are skirting around and we want to engage and spend a lot of our energy in dealing with politics, while this is not a political matter. This is a murder matter committed at the police station. And it was committed by adults of sane mind and sound mind, and with the full knowledge of the police officers who was at the central police station between the time when the Ojwang was booked in, and reliably we have learned he was very healthy. He wasn't tight, and within very few minutes, within very few minutes, he was no more, and with the knowledge of the officers who were there. I think for this matter, I would not like to engage in politics on who should be removed and who should not. Let people be removed from offices on evidence of participating in the murder. And we cannot engage in public mob justice and lynching as citizens, and we promote the culture of lynching and mob justice and avoid focusing on the truth. So the question is, who was the officer on duty in charge of the central police station when Ojwang was murdered? Because I don't think Ojwang was silent in the cell. He must have been screaming. Everyone must have heard. It must have been known that somebody is being beaten and brutalized to death. Let us be truthful here. And who was doing it? Who authorized the inmates to manhandle and kill Ojwang in the cells? That is where we need the truth. And all those involved should face the law. And for me here, let IPOA do its work and arraign all the victims, all those who are involved in the court of law. And here we don't need to engage in academic arguments of the penal code and everything. Where there is compelling evidence, of individuals seen through CCTVs and implicated through statements, then the IPOA will take action. And Central Police Station is not in the moon; it is here in the city. It is not. It is not. It is not condoned with the electric fences. It is an open thing. It is known who was there at what time, and who was in charge of the station, who are the officers who were there, who are the cell sentries. A cell sentry takes care of the welfare of every remandee. And where was the sentry when Ojwang was brutalized to death? And very lastly, we've got police standing orders. And I've had lawyers here argue. And if we open to lawyers, they will tell us stories and argue left, right, and center. This is not a moment to argue. We have police standing orders on how a suspect who is being booked in a police station is to be processed. Was that followed? And was the welfare of Albert taken care of by the officers who are on duty and with the responsibility to take care of all inmates executed? Did they take care of Albert Odhiambo as required by the standing orders, and of course using ordinary common sense? We cannot begin talking about individuals who are not anywhere near the central police station. Any police officer who is trained has a responsibility to protect the lives of every other citizen. You cannot scapegoat and begin begin blaming even people who are not there. Let us deal with those who are the scene of crime and who oversaw the execution of crime. And if others are implicated who are not at the scenes of crime as as having participated, then that is a different story. The law will take its own course. So I don't think this is a time to engage in political mob lynching and making reckless statements. Let us allow the due process of investigation and support IPOA and support all other government agencies in bringing the criminals to book. These are just but pure criminals who can squeeze out the life of somebody in very few minutes, and within very few minutes, somebody is no more. This is not an issue to politicize in this country.
Thank you.
I urge everyone, let us not politicize this one. Let us ensure that the criminals are brought to books. It doesn't matter how long it takes. This is a moment to move from words to action. I think we talk too much in this country rather than moving empirically and surgically and dealing with the actual culprits. This is the moment to bring the culprits to book Debal. And we don't need 2 hours to discuss this.
Thank
We
you.
don't need 15 minutes. We don't need 30 minutes. Let the criminals be brought to book. The crime scene is at the Central Police Station. It's a police entity. And it was sad to see IG of police give a general report, and it's not, and he knows too well, I'm sure. He knows too well what exactly transpired, at what stage did Ojuang arrive at the station, what actually went on. If the 3 inmates that I've seen in Citizen being mentioned, Citizen TV right away, being mentioned that they are the ones who actually killed Ojuang in the cells, then who was in charge of those 3 inmates? Were those 3 inmates instructed to kill Ojuang? And who gave the instructions to the 3 inmates to kill Ojuang? And when Ojuang was being killed, where were the duty officers? Those are the big questions. Let us not talk about how Ojuang was arrested in Homa Bay. Yes, he might have been arrested. He has been brought to a police station where he was expected to be safe. What went on? How many more such criminal activities are going on in our remands when citizens are remanded? Could this be a secret culture that is going on in all the remands in our police stations across the country? And therefore, people being arraigned for a day or a night or 2 are being brutalized by the inmates, and of course, with the full knowledge of the police. This is a moment to do a thorough and detailed surgery on our police service so that it becomes a truly police service. Let us keep politics out of this, keep it out completely.
So very well, ladies and gentlemen, based on that statement, the audio, I think you've gotten the all points which Sosion shared. The recycle bin, that was the biggest mistake. If this person really tampered with the CCTV as earlier projected, then he did it hurriedly. He was in a hurry because the move was to cover up something, a story. The person forgot to remember the recycle bin. Hile recycle bin alidelete akakimbia, kumbe ilienda kule. It could have been done in haste because probably they didn't want someone to get wind of what was happening, because hii kitu iliwapata off guard. Probably maybe they thought they were just going to punish him, and then he developed complication na akakufa. So let's assume they didn't want him to die, because if at all they wanted to kill him, they would have switched off the CCTVs in the first place, nothing even recorded. But because this thing happened, the whole drama that happened after that death of Albert was to try to cover up and introduce another narrative. Probably that is how we were told that alijigonga kujigonga hadi mwishowe akakufa. You know, remember that story about the OB report that was shared through the IG Kanja? Yes, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. So I'd like to rest my case there. But what do you think about Sosion's point? Do you agree with Wilson Sosion that hile recycle bin limetumika ku get this story, because people don't believe the stories that ambazo zinakuja? They just want this focus to be shifted to that deputy IG. But the DCI and IOPO are not operating like that. They want to go to the nitty-gritties of this matter so that they can nail the real people who did this heinous act. Then we get to the person who sponsored them. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Till you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.